Alright, what's happening, everybody? So, the Can-Am is back home for right now. She will be going back up to camp with me for Memorial Day weekend. I really hope the choice and the decision of me doing that doesn't bite me in the ass. And what do I mean by that is I have now 181 miles on this unit and a total of 18 engine hours to date as of Saturday, or actually, no, today's Monday, so as of yesterday. I'll power it up real quick. 181.3 miles and 18. Okay, yep, 18 engine hours on this unit. Per the owner's manual, 200 miles is the break-in period for the engine, at which point you need your front and rear diff oil change, engine oil change. They go through the whole unit, check the belt, make sure everything's copacetic, and do what they have to do if it's not. So yeah. However, trying to find a dealership that can get the unit in this week before next weekend is SOL, because still in New York State, they like to keep throwing socialist money at unemployment and are literally paying people to stay home and not work. So the dealerships had people quit, or people that took the choice of not to work during the, and so everybody's short-staffed. So they don't have anybody that can actually get into it, and they're left, the owners are left doing it on their own. And the one dealership that I would trust to do the break-in service says it's a week and a half out, and I would just have to drop the machine off, and then he would get to it when he got to it. I don't trust that either. It's a small mom and pop shop owned. The guy's 66 years old, but he has no internal storage for the wheelers. Given the location of where the dealership is, it's in the valley. You got a lot of drug addicts in the valley. These are extremely sought for items and hard to come by. So it's not really anything for anybody just to come by, throw it up on the trailer, and try fucking selling it for drug money. So I told him, I was like, when I drop it off to be serviced, I will be waiting for my wheeler to get serviced. So outside of that, I asked them, okay, well, obviously I'm not missing Memorial Day weekend. That's one of the big weekends for us to ride. Am I going to hurt anything if I go over the 200-mile break-in period before the service is done? And he explained to me, he's like, you can do it a little under or a little over 200 miles. You're not going to hurt anything. Obviously, at that point, you're not going to give an exact amount of mileage, because then it could become liability for him if something happens to the machine. So do I be stupid and ride it and say hit 300 miles before the service is done? I have no idea. On YouTube, you watch a lot of these channels, they'll pick up a four-wheeler, a Can-Am right from a dealer, and they're bombing it through ponds and 3 feet of mud, and nothing's happening. And yet you're not supposed to exceed 1/3 full throttle during the break-in period, but going full throttle, sporadically throughout the break-in period is recommended to get a well-rounded break-in for the machine. The belt has the break-in of 30 miles, which that's been here and gone. Or excuse me, that was 20 miles for the belt. The only reason why I am concerned about riding this without getting the service done, when I watched this the other day, and I don't know how good it's going to come out in camera, but you can see kind of the discoloration a little bit right in there on the rear diff. That had oil that was out on the case of the rear diff. So I don't know if something had just come loose, or if it gotten too hot, or what was going on with that. But that has me concerned. Obviously, it's a new machine, it's under warranty, I don't care, but if they do have to replace the rear diff, I'm probably not going to have this machine for the rest of the summer, just because of the availability of parts for any type of ATV. So yeah, with that said though, I am extremely happy with the machine. The only real gripe that I have with this machine itself is the goddamn seat. Now, it feels plush, and it feels like it's going to give support, but it's super easy to push right down into it. There might be maybe 2.5, 3 inches of padding on that seat, you sit, if you're driving, like we ride for probably anywhere from 2 to 5 hours at a time. That fucking kills my tailbone. There's not enough padding, especially if you're going over, some serious bumps or rocky terrain. It sucks. It's not as comfortable as the Arctic Cat. So, I mean, with that said, that really is the only complaint that I have for rider comfort. On top of that, when we went for the second ride this past weekend, it was a really technical trail. I mean, you've got pretty much just a trail cut out that's going, you go up and around and down through 2 mountains. So there's going to be boulders from the mountain that come out and some bigger rocks. So in low gear, just crawling at 5 to 8 miles an hour, it's a V-twin. Obviously, it puts off a lot of freaking heat, and the inside of my legs were getting quite hot. So I don't know. It is what it is. I don't want to make it seem like that's going to be a big bitching point. I mean, it's a big engine. It's going to be giving off a lot of heat. One thing also that I did notice, and it almost kind of sounds like a vacuum blowing off. But when we took a break on the trail, and the fan did its job. I mean, it kicks on right when it's supposed to kick on. But I had shut it off, and I thought my brother's fan was on next to me, and he's like, no, my wheeler's off. He goes, that's yours. You could hear it was like a high-pitched kind of like winding sound, and then you could hear it as it would be like, woo, and then it stopped. And then when we started riding again, as soon as the fan kicked on, the noise came back, and then even with the fan off, the noise stayed. So I don't know if that's an issue or if it's a Can-Am thing, but that's something else I'm going to have to bring up when the service gets done. So that is my 2 cents. With my luck, it's probably going to be something that has to be fucking replaced or something that's wrong with it, because that's just how shit goes with me. But anyways, I did end up washing it with the pressure washer when I was heading back from camp. I do not use the pressure up underneath the fenders or where the headlights are or anything electrical. I let off the throttle, if you will, of the wand of the car wash and just use the pressure that's coming out of it. But I do stand back a little bit. But you can tell it's a little shitty and nasty. So I'm going to give her a sponge bath, detail her up, re-hit with wax again just to protect it and armor all the shit. Only because I like it looking nice. That's just me. It's new. She will get marked up and abused at one point or another, but it is definitely not right now. That is going to be after the service is done, the break-in's done, and then we'll see how she does through by the boat launch, going out into the reservoir where there's some pretty nasty mud and some water. Nothing that's going to be up above anything where I'm going to need a snorkel or any of that shit, so it'll be a fun time. But anyways, I figured I'd give an update on the 2021 Outlander and see what happens after this weekend. I would actually like to get some footage of when we ride, just like I did with the Can-Am that I posted about a year or 2 ago. So we'll see what happens. Outside of that, anybody's got any questions, leave a comment, do whatever. Until then, if you're riding, be safe, have fun. We've almost gotten taken out twice so far every weekend by people that are fucking stupid, or they like to drink while they're riding and one-handing it around a corner. And I'm not going to get into that whole bullshit, but yeah, people are stupid this year more than ever when they're out on the trail. So be safe, have fun. I'll catch you guys later.